Dear Broadway Blind Guy viewers, today is going to be a good day, and here's why. What's up, thespians and Broadway fans? Welcome back to my channel, Broadway Blind Guy, with me, Lee, your quintessential legally blind theater nerd. And thank you so much for joining me today as I review the film adaptation of Dear Evan Hansen. Based on the 2017 Tony Award-winning Broadway musical, it is directed by Stephen Chbosky and stars Ben Platt, Kaitlyn Dever, Amandla Stenberg, Nyk Dodani, Julianne Moore, Amy Adams, Colton Ryan, and Pino. In case you don't know the story, it goes as follows. Evan Hansen, a high school student dealing with anxiety, unintentionally gets caught up in a lie when one of his classmates commits suicide and the family mistakes one of Evan's letters for a suicide note from their son. Now, to give you some context of my exposure to Dear Evan Hansen, I've seen the show twice live, once on tour and once on Broadway with Jordan Fisher, and the material always resonates with me so strongly due to the deep themes of feeling seen, mental health, and acceptance. Needless to say, I was very excited for this film adaptation, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. It's a pretty faithful adaptation to the source material, almost following the story beat by beat. And while everything doesn't translate perfectly to screen, I thought Stephen Chbosky did a very good job of giving us the intimate feel that we need from the story to really go on the journey with these characters. It was very effective. In terms of performance, we'll go ahead and get the most controversial thing out of the way, Ben Platt. I know there's been a lot of criticism over Ben Platt's age, saying that people saying that he was too old to play the part of Evan. And while these criticisms are valid, I had no issue with him playing this part. In fact, I thought he was quite good. I mean, he's been with the character of Evan for so long, playing the role in workshops and on Broadway, that he knows this character inside and out. And it shows. His performance of Evan on film felt very lived in, from the speech patterns to the physical nuances, the quirks, the gestures, all of it worked really well and was very effective. I also thought that Ben Platt did a very good job of playing to the camera versus a theater of 2,000 people. There were a few moments where he was a little too theatrical, I must say, but he did a very good job of pulling it in and making it more of a subtle and very grounded portrayal. And I'm just so glad that we have Platt's performance captured on film forever for everyone to see. Now, going on to Kaitlyn Dever as Zoe Murphy, I thought she did a wonderful job. She had the right level of angst, edginess, and internal struggle to give the complexities of this character depth. I will say that her singing voice left a little bit to be desired, but it wasn't enough to take me out of the movie. And actually, she was one of the standouts. As far as the mothers go, Heidi Hansen and Cynthia Murphy, Julianne Moore and Amy Adams, who are accomplished actresses, showed their talent once again, showing that they are capable of pretty much anything. They conveyed the right level of emotion so that we could understand that they are parents just trying to connect with their kids and trying to figure out how to make the right decisions. And with Amy Adams, you could really get a sense of her grief. And as far as Julianne Moore goes, I didn't know that she sang. And I will say that her singing voice is probably the weakest of the cast. But because she acted the song So Big, So Small really well, I was still caught up in the moment and in the emotion of what was going on. Then we have Amandla Stenberg, who plays Alana Beck. And they actually expanded this role for the film. And I thought it was very effective in the ways that they were able to dive deeper into her own issues with mental health and feeling invisible, something that we can all relate to. And the added material gave Stenberg a lot to dive into and really sink her acting chops into, and she rose to the occasion. Really, really appreciated her performance. Next, we have Nyk Dodani as Jared, Evan's friend, or should I say family friend. He added a great dose of comedy and charisma, even though the character of Jared was very minimized in this film. I wish that they would have actually given him a little more to do and was kind of disappointed that they didn't. But when he was on screen, he definitely brought a very good energy. As Connor Murphy, Colton Ryan was good. He doesn't really have a lot to do, but he did a passable job, and I would say an incredible job for what he had to work with. And then we have Danny Pino as Larry Murphy, who's Connor's stepdad. I actually thought he was the best actor of everyone in the film. He's not on screen very much, but when he is, he makes the most of the scenes that he has, and his emotion can be felt very well. Now, with every movie, and especially movie musicals, very rarely do we get a perfect version. There were a few criticisms I have with the film. One of them being the editing. I found the editing quite jarring at times with how they would transition from one scene to another. And I just felt like there might have been a way that they could have tightened it up and cleaned it just a little bit. Another thing is the transition between dialogue to song. Now, in a stage musical, you can get away with things that you can't get away with on a film. So I felt like some of the transitions here seemed a little unnatural and at times even comical. I know that it is a musical and you do have to suspend your disbelief, but still, there could have been a more natural or smoother way to approach the dialogue into song transitions. And then third, I do have to say that the film felt a little darker and heavier than the stage production. In the stage production of Dear Evan Hansen, I feel like there's a good dose of lighthearted moments and humor that kind of offset some of the darker material. Here, though, it seemed much more serious, and I would have appreciated just a bit more lightheartedness. So there you have it, my thoughts on the Dear Evan Hansen film. Once again, I really enjoyed this film, and I do know that there are some criticisms with the source material itself as far as the moral ambiguity of what Evan is doing. I understand these criticisms, but for me, I also understand where Evan is coming from, what motivates him to do the things that he's doing. And while I don't condone them, I also understand that broken people and people that don't feel seen or heard act out of those places of brokenness. So please comment below and let me know what you thought of the movie Dear Evan Hansen and also what your favorite song from the film is. Thank you so much for watching. Keep singing, keep dancing, and keep loving Broadway.